All right, welcome to the Dominate Show. Today it's just me, Nate, and today we have our two guests with us. I have Kyle Frescura and I have Jason Schiller. Kind of a funny story how we've all known each other for quite some time. Kyle and I go way back to probably 13-ish, and Jay and
Yeah.
I met in high school, and I kind of got Jay his first job. So I'll let Kyle, I'll let you introduce yourself. Tell us a little about yourself and how you got into this.
Awesome. Kyle Frescura. Like Nate said, known each other for a long, long time. Played sports together. As we got older, I moved away about 3 years ago. I moved back down to the area, downriver area. We reconnected from there. Nate wanted to train with me. I was kind of hesitant at first, and then just went with it. And I think after 2 or 3 days of training with you, I think you pretty much told me I have plans for you, and I said let's do it. Let's go.
Yep.
So other than that, I've spent 23 years of my life in the hospitality industry and still do it. Being a chef now, started off as a cook, obviously. Got to do the whole dishwasher and move your way up. But loving life now, feel 100 times better than when I used to, and I'm here till the end. So
That's good.
Much happier.
Good. Okay, go ahead.
All right, I'm Jason, and I think I met Nate around 2002, 2003 in high school.
Yep.
And we kind of kept in touch here and there, followed each other on Facebook. But I moved back to Michigan about 2 years ago, and I was seeing him post all his pictures. I think he was in prep or something. I was like, I didn't realize that he was doing shows and bodybuilding and stuff. So out of nowhere, I messaged him, hey, do you do diet plans? Because I was struggling after I got out of the military. I gained about 50, 60 pounds, blew up. So, I messaged Nate, asked for a diet plan, see how much he charged, started that process. And then within a couple of weeks, I asked him, hey, how much to actually train with you? I'll come to the gym, train with you, pay whatever it takes. Met up with him once and just kept going after that. It's been about a year and a half, maybe a little bit more now since then. Yeah. It's crazy, the things I've learned in a year and a half and the changes that have been made.
Yeah, we definitely put some good changes. I know. Well, my big thing is, like I tell people all the time, if you want to train with me, just show up. One thing. Obviously, if you can make it, you can make it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know there's been a few people who have a hard time making it, but that's here nor there. Yeah. So, Jay, why did you join the military? Because you had already been in a professional trade industry, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I was a union bricklayer for about 5 or 6 years before I joined. A majority of the reason was when the economy crashed in about 2009, wasn't left with much else to do. I moved to Tennessee looking for work, and there's no unions down here in Tennessee where I'm currently at the moment. That was really the main driving factor at that time.
Yeah. No, I understand. I was hurt by it big time. Coming from, obviously we were the same trade, but definitely I went back to school in 2008. So yeah, I understand. So what led you to gravitate to wanting to get better into fitness?
I've noticed personally that, like what I said, once I got out of the military, gained a bunch of weight, I've noticed that your health and your level of fitness, how you take care of your body, is directly related to your mental health. It's 100% related. When you're not working out, you're not eating properly, all the chemicals in the foods that they put, in the stuff that normal people eat nowadays, it messes with you mentally, and you will never realize it until you start to make that connection.
Yeah.
So during the shutdown, how would you say your mental fortitude was?
Oh, it's been horrible. It's really been horrible. You didn't realize really how bad the gym, or how well the gym would help you until this happened.
Yeah.
And you're completely isolated.
we've seen this a lot, obviously, with the professional who committed suicide, as well as the young NPC figure competitor as well. So, I mean, I know.
Wasn't there this
There was
Russian
there was one
more?
more. It was a wheelchair competitor as well.
Correct. Yeah, I read that. I don't know, probably a week
Yeah.
or so ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that a lot of people fail to realize, that mental structure that comes around, especially, Jason, for somebody like yourself. Obviously, I can't speak upon, how you think and how you act, but I know that it does play a heavy mental role. I mean, it does for me. And I know we've discussed that, tons of times.
Oh yeah.
So, Kyle, so let's talk about what you were doing prior to coming training with me or us. What was your videos that you'd always post on Instagram?
Oh,
It was on one machine every day.
was it?
Yep.
What was that? I don't even remember.
You were doing like 2 hours of cardio on the stairs.
Oh yeah. So at the time, I would say for a good 10 years or so, and this was before I ended up getting a divorce. I went through depression really bad. It was just a point in my life. It's like married, I have kids, obviously, two beautiful daughters, and I love to so I was losing myself. There was almost 10 years where I didn't work out, didn't exercise, completely let myself go, blew up. I hated everything about me. I needed a change in my life. Things just weren't going right in my marriage. So things happen, unfortunately. Fortunately, it made me better. I moved back in. I had to move in with my dad. Just couldn't afford to live on my own. Got a membership at Planet Fitness, and I literally just did at least an hour to 2 hours of cardio a day. Completely just lowered my food, hardly ate anything. But it made me feel better. I lost a ton of weight. I think I went from 267 to 217. And I want to say probably like 3.5, 4 months.
Yep.
But that's all I was doing was just cardio. I would exercise, I would lift weights. I would do, a few machines here and there, but it was just cardio for me. That was put the hood up, didn't pay attention to anything, and just go on the stairs. I think when you and I reconnected and I really saw the fact that I could just change my diet, foods, and completely basically do no cardio whatsoever and just do weight training, how it made me feel. Obviously the strength just was not there in the beginning. I knew that going into it, and I wasn't trying to lift as much as I could, or even there was a few days where I tried to keep up with you, and obviously there was no chance I was doing that one, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It's not a pissing match with me. If I can do it, I'm going to try. If I can't do it, I at least want to try it. If it doesn't work out, I'm perfectly fine with that. But changing the whole perspective of the fitness part for me, and with training with you, and then getting into the diets and all that, it makes you feel so much better. I honestly could tell I was going through probably a case of canned Coke a day at a point in time. And then I just stopped drinking pop for almost 3 years.
Yep.
It was just water, no juice, no nothing. I think just the fact that being able to train with someone, obviously that helps. The motivation, no negative things. Obviously we're always going to have a back and forth, which is good. You need that second person there with you. Obviously you should be able to train just as hard by yourself, but having that partner with you, either one or two people, it's obviously, you're going to get even more motivated. So just the whole changing of everything and learning the food and the aspect of the nutrition on top of all the weight training is just, it's changed everything for me. I don't think that I would ever go back to anything that I was doing before, to be honest with you. I'm, obviously, in the off season, we get to, enjoy a little bit, a little bit of food.
We'll get to that one soon.
But, yeah. But just overall, just reconnecting and being around great people and especially you two, the fact that, we talk on a daily basis back and forth is just, it's great to have the friends. And it's not even a friend thing, it's more of a family. So that's what's really important for me. And that's what's really changed everything for me. So.
Yeah, it's crazy that pretty much word for word from beginning to end of what Kyle just said, I could probably go with it 100%. The divorce, the kids, everything leading up to pretty much where us three are at right now.
Yep. No, and
I mean,
hey, we'll get into Jason's got a fun perspective on both of us because he's went through a prep with both of us.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious to see what his perspective is on this, because I know Jason, we were real close last year near the end of mine, and
oh yeah,
I don't even want to talk about how I felt. But
I know towards the end of your prep, God, what was it? Was it North Americans or I think it was North Americans.
North Americans.
I said something to you because I think I was what? I think I was like 5 weeks out from my show. And I said something to you and it irritated the hell out of you. And for about 3 or 4 hours, I didn't hear anything back from you. You're like, I'm good. I had my moment. I needed that. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly how you're feeling right now.
That was a daily
Oh
basis.
yeah. Oh, of course. Of course. It's to be, expected at that point. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We definitely had a challenging course there.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I didn't plan on doing North Americans, so obviously pushing that prep 5 weeks longer was even more difficult. And I mean, my calories went even lower, and I was done. Fuck, I could barely stand up some days.
Well, he just sent me that video of us at Oakwood. I don't know if he sent it to
Hunched
you.
Over.
You're completely just passed out, basically.
I think the caption on social media was "Dad sleeping."
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Oh, that was good.
No, go ahead.
When it comes to your cardio at about 5 weeks out, you just think you're sleeping the whole time,
dude. And it's funny because this year, I mean, obviously we know I'm technically not in prep at all, but I'm just coming down, and just the way that I feel in general is so much different.
Oh yeah,
it's like night and day.
Well, that's what a lot of people don't realize about their health or the sport is there's a lot that go into it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start to dial in your body, the response that you will get is absolutely ridiculous. Unfathomable sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, shit. What Kyle's calories have been, he was high as hell until like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He wasn't even.
But even still 4 weeks ago, on top of obviously certain people that we know, I'm still 1,000 calories over them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And you were that way last year, and I was always surprised through your whole prep that your calorie intake was high, very high.
It was, but we were just talking. What was it last week? Like I wasn't in a surplus last time.
No, you weren't. You were in a deficit.
I was in a deficit the whole time, but it was still a ton of food, and it was only till I think we had to. I think at like 6 weeks out, 7 weeks out, we didn't plan on it, but I came in. I think we trained at night that time. And I don't know why I did it, but my beard obviously wasn't as long as Jay's is now, but it was pretty damn close, I think. But I trimmed everything down and I was completely sunken in already.
Yeah. I remember I go, fuck.
Yeah. So we had to obviously refeed, and I think we refed 2 days in a row at that point.
Yeah, we did. You were pretty
All right.
depleted at that point.
Yeah. But it's like this time around being in a surplus and being able, obviously my weight has stayed where it is, and I wasn't, I don't really care obviously at the end of the day, because the way that, the way I'm looking,
Oh,
I don't really
absolutely.
care. I don't care what the scale looks like.
It's night and day from last year.
Oh, completely. Like,
yeah.
I think the 4 weeks ago, maybe 5, maybe even 6 weeks ago, with the way I looked compared to what I did in October, I already beat it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And that's all that
Oh.
matters at this point. I mean, I know that I harp, and you guys can attest that, and I harp on proper vitamins and nutrients and all the proper minerals in all
Yeah.
your foods. And I try and make sure that everybody's taken care of. And if you're not, I'm making sure that you're supplementing what you're missing out on.
Yeah.
And that's something that I try to hammer home with a lot of people. And I know a lot of other people don't focus. They focus more on the quote unquote chicken and rice 6 meals a day, and is it the thing with chicken and rice is it easily digestible? Yeah, rice is easily digestible, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not cleaning out the intestines at all because there's no fiber.
Yeah.
So your digestion could in turn get screwed up, and a lot of people don't look at stuff like that. I know.
Yeah, and we dealt with that. We dealt with that last year.
We did.
With me.
That was not a fun 3-4 weeks for you. I know that.
No. It was just I but I was getting enough fiber. I was getting enough fats. My fats were in the 90s, I think.
Yeah, we were we were high in your fats up until even when we did the final. I pulled carbs at 3 weeks out, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that your fats were still probably hovering about 100.
They were I think we ended at 91.
Yeah.
But I mean 91 grams. I mean at that point in time, after obviously me learning all the nutrition and how that is and learning more about it, even with you being that high in fat and no carb, you should be all right.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're gonna be completely out of energy, but that's expected. But you shouldn't be hungry. You shouldn't be anything like that because your fats are still up to a certain point. But that's just me. Obviously everyone's different.
Yeah.
Like I can do the chicken and rice for 6 times a day, and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Right.
Obviously we don't want to do that.
No.
But I'm fine with the basic foods. I don't need all the fancy little, things here and there.
But that's the thing. Like, and I know, Jay, you've been obviously with the military background, you're very structured in what you do. And so a meal plan for you is really nothing. I mean, to be honest, for you, that's like second nature.
Yeah, it's to me, it's kind of fun. I mean, I have no problem with it. I mean, it's been a year and a half basically that I've been pretty darn strict with the diet plans.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like? What do you like most though? Do you like the diet or do you like the macros diet? Do you just like getting numbers?
Because we've done both with you.
Yeah.
I like the way we've been going at it right now. Everything's laid out, in a format. Eat this, and that's it. That's all you got to do. I mean, I've noticed if I stray from the diet whatsoever, it tears me up. I feel like crap. I get bloated. I mean, I will look like I'm 9 months pregnant. Is the bloat that I'll get. You've seen the pictures. It's crazy on how I'll bloat.
Yep.
But I mean, that's the best part about it is my body adapts to it so well. If I stray, I feel horrible.
Yeah, I what was it? A week ago, your blood sugar was crashing, right?
Yeah.
About a week and a half ago. And where are your carbs? Your carbs are up almost 500. I'm pretty sure.
High. They're high.
You're high.
And it still happens just here and there.
You got big blood sugar.
If I do cardio outside in this humidity here in Tennessee, my blood sugar crashes. I have to take a pack of gummies anytime I do cardio.
And so that's going to be optimal now when we decide to change gears. When we change gears and go into a fat loss, and you're starting to resensitize that beta cell, that's going to become you'll be a fat burning machine. As long as
that was one of the whole points I'm wanting to do, reverse everything and not continuously try to cut weight. but go on a bulk style diet is to burn fat better and more efficiently next time I do go to drop the pounds.
Mm-hmm. And that was my mistake. I'll be the first to admit that. I think that probably, I assumed make an ass out of you and me, that you just wanted to keep trying to come down. But yeah, when you said that, I was completely on board.
Yeah, but that's what I first initially did want to do, try to, because like when I was active duty, I was about 180, 190 pounds.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about what I stayed at. I mean, 200 would have been the max I would have ever been. And now I'm sitting at 270 right now.
Yep.
But that's what I wanted to try to get back to, because I know how well I felt, how active I could be. I could run. Joints would feel better at that weight. So, but my body just won't do it. My body will not drop to that kind of weight or, down that low at the moment.
Yeah.
Because it fought us. Everything we did, it would fight somehow.
It did. And I'll admit, and I pretty much tried to throw the kitchen sink at you at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we have a lot of tools as coaches in our back pockets that we don't like to use out the gate.
Right.
So once we pretty much exhausted all our tools, it was time. So definitely. All right. Go ahead.
As I say, that's all you can do is adapt with the body, figure out what it likes, what it doesn't like, and keep rolling with the punches and figure it out as you go.
All right. Yes. So let's talk about our epic nights of food. See, this is something I think a lot of people are so enamored with how much food that I know that I can consume. And what people fail to realize is Kyle can consume just as much, if not more, than I can. And one night last year.
Which one are we going with?
Which one did you want to go with? You going to downtown?
Which one was better to you, though?
They were both pretty epic. I mean,
they both were. I think the first one was a little bit. The sushi really helped everything.
Yeah.
Because obviously sushi isn't filling; it's very light, and the digestion of it is twice as fast as everything else.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
So downtown for me, that's it.
Yeah. So what did we do downtown? Let's go into this. Where did we start? Because it was funny. I took my girls down there today because we had to get out of the house for a little while, and we actually drove by everywhere that we stopped that night.
So just to be clear, so we all take turns. One person pays for each meal. So we went to Five Guys first, right?
First one.
Oh,
yeah.
Five Guys was 2 double burgers.
Yep.
2 double bacon burgers, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And then large fry for each.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we took that night. The Five Guys went down a lot faster than the first time. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it was. I think we looked at each other and we went, "It's gone."
Yeah, I think like the three large fries. I think we took it down in probably like 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah.
I might be exaggerating it,
No,
but it was quick.
And then we probably could have got going a lot quicker if that guy didn't freaking yell at you.
Oh yeah, the pounding on the window and wanting everyone to flex. But it was. I mean, that was good. But yeah, we probably could have ate more food or whatnot. What did we then we went to Pizza Papalis.
Yep, Pizza Papalis was next.
Pizza was next.
But I had to mess with Jay a little bit on that one because at that time you were doing stupid amounts of spinach,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like one of the big tubs a day.
Yeah. So I went over. I acted like I had to go to the bathroom. Went over to where the side service is. Got our server and asked her to bring a big plate of spinach over for Jay, which was good. I don't remember what the pizza was, if it was stuffed or what it was, but I know it was full of shit.
It was a very big pizza.
Yeah, but I think that didn't take long at all.
No,
to put that down.
We were out of there.
I think the pizza went down quicker than Five Guys might have went down.
But remember, we had to wait.
We waited like
There
45
was
minutes or
like 4
something like that,
tables
right?
that came in after us and got their food before us, and we were
Mhm.
turning towards each other, going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I don't, and then, I mean, obviously, you know, after that, we don't need to talk about the in between, but
I want to say we drank a lot of water too, though.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
did.
we had a lot of liquid the
yeah,
whole time as well.
we went through, I think we went through a few pitchers just at Pizza Papalos.
Well, we waited. Like,
so long.
we probably waited 35, 40 minutes just for them to bring the food after we ordered it.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
don't remember.
and then
It was the pizza the only thing we got?
I think spinach.
Well, besides the spin.
I think so. I don't think we got any side things with it.
No.
No. But even after we left there, we had a lot of water before we went and got food at the next place.
Yeah. Which wasn't that great, obviously.
No.
You know, it was depressing. Not depressing, but you know, at a certain point. So we went to Zorba's
Yep.
on 4th Street. You and I both ordered 12 pancakes. Or it was either 12 or 14 pancakes. Jay ordered, what did you order? A giant omelet or something like that.
Yeah, giant omelet with bread and potatoes.
Yeah. I think I got about 7 pancakes down, or maybe, no, I don't even think it was that.
Those were brutal.
It was like 5, maybe 5 or 6 pancakes. It was to the
They
point
come
where
on.
Had enough syrup.
I took the whole jug of syrup and poured it over my pancakes, and it was
Well, they
I couldn't
come on-
do it. I just
But they
couldn't
come
do
on
it.
to you guys cold, right? I mean, weren't the pancakes cold?
They weren't hot at all.
Yeah, they were cold, and
Yeah.
then like it was like going into rubber.
Yeah.
Cut it. You would take a bite, and it was like automatic dryness in your mouth. It
So
was.
I don't know. Maybe the first one was better.
I don't know.
Maybe.
So
Yeah, I mean,
sushi Five Guys, Roma's,
Yep.
and then
We
the
had
cookies.
La Gloria Bakery cookie.
Gloria, yeah.
Yeah.
That the Roma's pizza was brutal to take down.
Yes.
I think Jay only had
he,
maybe 2 or 3 slices.
Dude,
he sat on the
I
couch.
couldn't do it.
He sat on the couch and he looked like he was ready to pop.
Well, that was the first. That was the first time I've ever attempted to eat that much in one day. It was brutal. It hurt. I'm not gonna lie.
That because you didn't have that much sushi though either, did you?
No, I think
I don't remember.
he ordered a roll and it was hotter than hell because I
Yeah.
was taking a picture of him freaking sweating.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you were also eating the shit out of the wasabi, I think too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, because I know I had about 18 pieces of sushi before we went to Five Guys, and I think Nate, you had about the same.
I had 3 rolls.
Okay.
I got a tempura roll, a spicy California roll, and one other. I think I had a dragon roll of some sort.
Okay. And then Five Guys, and yeah, I think, but I don't remember how many. I know I think I did about 6 slices of the pizza.
We had the kids with us that night, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
When we had
kids with us
yeah
that
when we
we
did
took them to Five Guys.
yeah
But we also had more fries at Five Guys that time.
Yes.
They loaded the bag.
they
Oh,
loaded the bag.
they
They
normally
didn't even
take the
put it in the
one little
cups. They
small
just filled the
container.
bag up, right?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
literally just filled the bag up. Screw it. Like,
And then we poured the malt vinegar all over.
yep.
Yep.
That's actually, it was funny because when I went grocery shopping probably about 6 months later, and Macy was with me. And she goes, "Dad, you gonna buy that malt vinegar?" I go, "What?" She goes, "I want to put that on my fries." All right.
Now, speaking
Oh,
of
good.
your daughter,
Okay.
you're at first. I think your daughter, when I first started with you, could eat more than I could at that time. That girl can eat.
She's nonstop. Like I'm not even joking. There are days when she probably eats more calories than I do.
Oh, I believe it. Every time she's ever come to my house, she eats like a pig or something.
I can't. You would think that I don't feed her. That's the sad part.
Yeah, but even like the few times that we've gone to KFC, it's like, oh my gosh. Like for a little girl her size
I know.
at her age, it's unreal.
Uh,
And then she's hungry after that. And like,
Dude, no joke. She hides food. She'll be sitting
Oh, yeah, I
in the living
remember you
room and
saying
she'll
that.
hide it.
yeah.
What are you doing?
I wonder where she learns that from.
Yeah.
I don't hide it. I get it down the throat real quick. It's gone. Can't.
I think your last one by yourself,
Oh God.
that was the most that I've seen you eat.
I was
And
hungry.
obviously we weren't there, but the lineup of what you sent,
Oh, I was
that's
hungry.
yeah. But you didn't have a cheat, you didn't have anything in like what, 5 weeks, 6
For
weeks.
5-6 weeks, yeah.
So your body obviously needed it.
Yeah, I went with. It was probably 6 weeks. And then
And you gave, I mean, but you gave yourself enough time span, for you to
Oh,
be
yeah.
able to take that down.
Yeah.
So
And that's I know
You
that for me, yeah. I give myself that
and you didn't gain
and go.
and you didn't gain any weight, right?
No, I actually stayed exactly the same.
it's unreal.
Well, that just shows, like, people don't realize, like, I know a lot of people, when you come into a show a lot of times, and let's say you weigh in at 194, then you carve up after you make weigh-ins to 204, and then you go out that night after your show and you eat the fuck out of everything.
Yeah.
100 times, 99 out of 100 times, you're going to weigh less than what you weighed on the stage, because guess what? That cortisol is gone. That stress of that show is gone.
Yeah.
Your body just wants those nutrients. And that's why people don't realize that hormone aspect. I listen to some of these coaches, that are really actually very popular, and they have great results, but they legitimately starve their competitors. They look great, don't get me wrong, but I mean,
But at what cost?
that's the thing, is that, like, the hormone panels go away.
Yeah.
You can supplement whatever you want at that point, but you have just killed
Yeah,
the
at
hormones.
a certain point, it's like you need more rest than anything.
Yeah.
Wednesday was the first day I trained in 4 days.
Yep.
I was exhausted. I just couldn't do it. I needed the rest.
And sometimes you have to have that. I know
Yeah.
that this year we've done a lot lower frequency.
Yeah.
I mean, last year we were training 6-7 days a week
Yeah.
at one time.
Yeah.
And
The two on, one off, 3 on, the way we were doing it with training just 4 days a week, but how intense.
Oh.
It was just brutal. Like, the trash can had to go everywhere we went.
Yep.
It was
Yeah,
just,
there's a huge difference in the old style of training versus the new style. Big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, is it better sometimes to take it a little safer with machines and all that than the free weights?
It depends. I mean,
Depends on how crazy you get, in my opinion.
I don't want to say crazy, but obviously the goal in bodybuilding is not push as much weight as possible.
The movement.
It's the movement. It's the mind and muscle connection. I know personally, for me, like, if I do hammer strength when I train my chest, I can freaking kill that thing. But if I get on a dumbbell and I get on a barbell and I try and isolate it, I have a lot harder time. And
For me, I hate the bar.
yeah.
I hate it. No matter if it's incline or flat. I'm not a bencher.
No.
I just don't like the unevenness. Now you put me on the Smith, I like it better.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll only do incline on the Smith. I won't do flat. I'd rather do I'd rather do machines. I'd rather do dumbbells and cables.
Yeah,
To me, the pec. What's that? Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, personally, for me, any kind of a regular bar just hurts too much. Too much shoulder pains and stuff.
Yeah. And you nurse a lot. You
strength.
have a lot of injuries too. I know that we've had to work around of a lot of things.
This 3 months out of the gym though, because of the lockdown or shutdown, it's helped a decent amount.
That's good.
I mean, my strength's down quite a bit now that I'm back in the gym, but I've noticed I'm able to get better range of motion and work those weights up a little bit quicker than before.
That's good. That's that. Yeah, that's. I think that's the key, though. Like a lot of people were almost afraid to take rest. You know, if I tell somebody to take the day off, a lot of times I get pushback. You know, I mean, I told Kyle, I told you to stay off a specific body part for 2 weeks. You know, and there's a reason behind it. It's not because I want to see atrophy occur.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that there's a reason why. There's a reason something's inflamed, and you have to allow it to have rest. You know, and I think a lot of guys just, you know, and don't get me wrong, we have to push through injuries in this sport
Yeah.
all the time because you can't stop training, period. You know, you can't get a little boo-boo on your arm and say, I can't train for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, and I relate it closely to hockey because hockey players play hurt all the time. They, you know, no fucks given.
You can't. I mean, it's
Period.
just the way it is. I mean, look at Patrice Bergeron. What was it? Like 5 years ago? He played with a collapsed lung.
Yep. And then
Like-
who was the other guy from Boston who he broke his femur and he still made it off the ice?
I think it was Campbell.
I don't remember who it was, but I know that he broke his femur and was able
Yeah.
to push off the ice.
Yeah. And then what was it 2 years ago? I know a lot of people have this, you know, whatever when I always talk about it. But I always do the whole LeBron James thing when he got carried off by 3 guys because he had a cramp in his leg.
Yep.
Well, that same night, and we've talked about this many, many times, a rookie from the St. Louis Blues took a shot off of his face, had 37 stitches around his eye,
Yep.
came back out and scored the overtime winning goal. It's the mentality of hockey players. We don't have time to think about an injury or anything.
It's the mentality of the team.
Yeah.
If you ever, and I like to always bring up, I thought Steve Yzerman was one of the most well-spoken individuals the game has ever had. Mike Vernon was really good as well. But
I agree with you, though.
Steve Yzerman always would say "we."
Yeah.
If you listen, and I'm not discrediting basketball players. I'm not, you know, whatever, but it's always I. And let's be honest, LeBron James is the only reason the Cleveland Cavaliers went to the finals and had so much success.
He's a great player. I'm not going to say that he's not. You know, obviously, in his time in the league, I forgot. I don't even know how long he's been in the league. It doesn't really matter, but he's made a presence ever since he's come into the league.
Oh.
Does he do the whole I thing? Yes. Does he do the whole we thing? Yeah. But if you take 10 videos of hockey players to 10 videos of another sport, all you're going to hear from hockey players is we.
Yeah.
We. They never talk about themselves.
No.
It's a family.
Oh yeah.
That's just how, you know, and then obviously I was brought up that way. But speaking of, just not off the subject, I actually drove by the old Rouge Rink today. Man, is that a sad sight. That is a sad sight to see because I had so many memories in that place.
God,
Roof is pretty much torn off. Oh, it's
okay.
brutal.
I haven't been in that area. Wow.
Yeah.
20 years or so.
All right. So let's talk about how this all happened with all of us. How discussions, I guess, because obviously I never really wanted to take my coaching abilities to, I don't want to say the next level, but I kind of stayed under the radar. Not a lot of people knew I was doing what I was doing. So let's talk.
I mean, you only had maybe a handful.
Correct.
You know, but you were fine with that. I think Jay, you were the one that really pushed it.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I try my best. I mean, I've seen what it can do personally. Like the changes I've made, not just physically, but mentally, when you have somebody with the knowledge to not just push you physically, push you mentally, and help you learn the nutrition aspect of it, that's worth its weight in gold. Like, people do not realize that at all. You know, my eyes were opened up to where, you know, you have to get blood work done. You know, you have to eat certain foods, the micronutrients, all this stuff that people don't really know much about. and seeing the knowledge that Nate had, you have to do this. Like, you have to take that step, and you have to get more clients. You have to basically save this industry from what it has become. I mean, it's sad to see how so many coaches just push people on, low calories, take this supplement, take that supplement, not eat properly. It's just not what it should be. And I think this is a big solution to a lot of problems.
I mean, you see a lot of local coaches, maybe only a couple, from the get-go, they're pushing an hour or more of cardio right away. I mean, specifically for the guys that are in prep that are going to do a show, it's like it's not even necessary, And that's just from me watching Nate and watching other guys that have competed and what they've done. Like, you have coaches that don't have the knowledge, but they think that they do. So they're pushing the cardio, they're pushing the food to the brink of, you're so far out and you're so depleted that you go into a show and you look like shit. You think you look great. You look great a week out, and then you go into it and you're flat and you have nothing. Nothing's there. But you've done 2 hours of cardio a day for the last 8 weeks, 9 weeks. You're drinking 3 gallons of water a day. And you're doing things that you've never done before, but you're doing now because your coach just says do it. So it's like the knowledge, the research, and all that. Nate has all that. Nate has the research, and if he doesn't, he gets it. He has the resources to get that stuff. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not doing it just to just because we're obviously friends, family, and you're my coach, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the care. It's the care.
There's been several times at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll open up my phone and there's a medical journal sent to me in a text message. It's 30 pages long, and I scratch my head. Like, all right, does it take me 2 days to get through this to where I actually understand it?
I mean, fuck, you print it off. You print it off for both Jay and I. Like this, what was it, 30-page nutritional book.
Yeah.
It was just on different meats, fruits, and carbohydrates.
Yep.
I mean, the fact that you're like, oh, here, I want you guys to have this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pushing off. It's not only do I want you guys to have the knowledge. It's like, here, I just don't want to talk about it. I want you to physically have it in front of your face, and the protocols from, the food protocol, the vitamin protocol, cardio, the whole spectrum of everything. You don't take 2-3 days to get back to a client. You're right on it. And that's what people like to see. So
yeah, everybody feeling like they're number one, basically.
That's important.
But you have to, and I think that you'll hear from a lot of guys that I'm not here to motivate you, in the sense. The accountability aspect is more, you hired me, so now you should be more accountable on the whys. But I still feel that no matter what, I need to do my due diligence with everybody else on why we're doing this. And believe me, there's some people who don't care for me to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing, but I'm still going to tell you, because, hey, if push ever came to shove, and let's say that something happened to where you were unable to afford services, and you had to do it on your own, could you? And I think that's what I hope for a lot of people, and people don't really understand that. If you want to do your own prep, I'm trying to give you all the tools to do it. I'm going to explain why we're doing something, this way. If you have a suggestion, I'm definitely open to it. We had a conversation today about lowering somebody's carbs because we think that they can make more progress, and that's fine. I'll take it into consideration. I'm definitely open for it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You don't lose anything.
Exactly.
And I think that, but I'm glad I made the jump. It's been stressful a bit. There's days that you hope that people will understand what you're selling, I guess, or bring you can offer. And I think that's the hardest part is people don't really realize what we can offer, because I'll be honest, without you two, there's no way I would have done it. There's no way I would have said, hey, let's go for it.
And you're 100% right, because I talk to people will message me all the time, friends, like, hey, how you do this? What are you doing? And send me a copy of your diet. I'm like, it doesn't really work that way. It's kind of each individual person needs their own little plan. And I'll tell them, hey, this is how much he charges. Try it for a couple weeks, see what you can do. It's worth your time. And everybody's generally scared because they've never done it before.
Correct.
People don't, like I said, people do not realize what they're missing until they try it.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy too, because they're like we've talked about it many times, and we've had a laugh about it. You're feeding me that much food, I'm gonna get huge.
I heard that one 2 days ago.
Yeah,
you want me to eat all this?
You'd be very surprised. You'd be very, very surprised.
Yep.
Just going off of last prep, I started at 255.
Yep.
The fact that we can lose 65 pounds, and I ended prep at like 2,200 calories.
Yep.
And then this prep now, I started at 252.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked completely different.
Oh, night and day.
It was unreal. The pictures that you just shared, it blew my mind. Like the development and everything. But that's a thing that people, in order for me to lose weight, for me to do this, I need to eat twigs and berries, basically.
Yeah, but
that's the mentality.
The problem with the next fad or what's going to happen, because ultimately you get Billy Bob, who hears about the paleo diet. That's actually, I believe, a lot in that and a lot what they offer. But Billy Bob hears about the paleo diet. He says, I'm going to do this. And then he adds 45 minutes of cardio out the gate to have great results for the first 5 weeks. And then he stalls out still at 22% body fat. They can't figure out why. But I'm doing paleo. I'm doing CrossFit. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But you're not understanding your basal metabolic rate. Basal metabolic rate in my world is just a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
I can take your basal metabolic rate and then I can add your total daily energy expenditures, and I can get you a calorie base of, say, 2,900 calories. But, I mean, let's take Kyle, who I think we ended the off season almost at 5,000 calories.
Yeah, it was like 47. Something like that.
That's on a daily basis. It's not like I'm going 4,700 down to 3,000 on a non-training.
No, there was no low or medium day.
No. And so, I mean, the weekly calories was just ginormous. But, if I followed just those calculators, technically he should have gained something like 42 pounds or something like that. So, it's just a starting tool. And I feel bad for a lot of people because they often find a coach who has done a show and has followed a diet protocol from somebody, and all they do is regurgitate it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't gain enough micronutrients from chicken and spinach. I don't care how much damn spinach you're eating. I mean, even for 85 grams of spinach, you're only getting 2 grams of fiber. 85 grams of spinach is a lot of spinach.
A lot of spinach. 120 grams is a lot of spinach.
Yep.
Oh, I know.
I know you know. But
you're not. Yeah.
But you say that about, a coach. People that become coaches after doing one show. Well, now we're all three of us and other people are seeing coaches that have never done a show tried to maybe do a prep and have hired a coach for a couple weeks and never did good with that coach and just decided, hey, I'm a coach now.
Yep. I think
with,
I know.
With social media nowadays, I mean, everybody's a coach, it seems like.
And I
Everybody's
guess
a trainer.
that was the hardest part for me. I'll be honest. Like I get so frustrated with that because you got Johnny who thinks he knows what he's doing and he becomes a coach, you know, and
But it's because they're taking everything from the previous coach that they had, and all they're doing is just putting their name on it and using the base model.
right.
But
But
it's not a coach.
but like, you know, there's so many other things that like sticking points, when to add specific things. You know, why don't I start prep and you have a fat burner with this and this and this? Why don't I just start it off the gate so then we just start and do freaking great?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what a lot of guys will do. Like they don't plan this stuff out. Like I plan on almost every single thing on what we do, and it's not like it's not a 10-minute process. You know, I can alter diets, you know, at probably 15 minutes for most people. But the planning process that goes in the culmination of it is the hardest thing because that can take a ton of time. And especially if you have a client who isn't forthright with everything that they're doing. Those are the ones that make you want to pull your freaking hair out.
And you always know. They think they can outsmart you, but you know every single time.
You do.
You can tell big time.
Well, okay. So I just, you know, I'll give you just a small case. Like say that I have a person and their calories are, let's say 3,000 calories right now. Okay. And they only lost 1 pound of the 2 that I estimated. So then I drop it 250 to 2750. And then I add another 250 calories burned on cardio. So technically, I already know in my mind that I have now taken that pound into consideration for calories and cardio. There's 500 more calories that need to be burned or that are not being consumed.
And you just can't go through the motions of your cardio, of your training. You just to say, oh, I did my 30 minutes of cardio, or I did this, or you know whatnot. How intense was it?
Yeah.
So
How hard was it? I could do 35 minutes walking at 2 miles an hour, and I'm not doing anything.
You already do that, so it's not.
Thank you so much.
that was last prep.
Hey,
Last
3.2.
prep, okay?
3.2.
No, one thing though I have learned is the Apple Watch and cardio. Having your clients with an Apple Watch, hey, get this 400 calories done. See how hard they work.
Yep.
Yeah, we were just talking. We were just
Night
talking
and
about
day.
that.
Oh, well, absolutely. Because my first prep, and believe me, the way that I coach is the way that I was taught my first prep. You know, I was taught totally out of the box from the quote unquote bro diet and how to do it the bro way. And I think that I was very fortunate to learn that way because I wore a damn heart rate monitor with a watch and a chest strap when I trained, when I did cardio. So I knew, but see that's the thing is I kept that constant the entire prep. So while it may not have had 100% accuracy, that variable never changed. So my 500 calories, which obviously we see now with the Apple Watch and the Fitbits and everything else, that 500 calories to burn that you thought you were burning, hell of a lot harder than you actually think.
Exactly. I see that every day with Rachel, trying to get her 400 calories in every day.
Yep.
To work. Like I've tried it with her a couple of days. Like, okay, I'll go with you, do your cardio. We've climbed some serious hills around here and some serious mountains to get her cardio in.
Oh, and it's humid as hell. I probably couldn't breathe.
I don't know if it's the weight. I don't know if it's the weight gain or what, but I can't breathe either.
Right? But like it's I think that's what a lot of people have to understand. And I think that when you hire a coach, you have to understand that just because your 12 weeks ends doesn't mean you can go back to your life that you had.
But what's the percentage that people do? As soon as they get out, oh, I'm gonna go eat this bullshit. I'm gonna go eat this. I'm gonna go eat these frozen patties or this frozen crap. It's like, if you don't really know the ingredients and shit, like I had a conversation with someone. No names need to be said, but like, do you realize the preservatives that are in food, the ingredients that have to go in to be able to keep that food at a frozen state, to be able to be eaten? Like, no one actually knows that. Oh, it has this much sodium in it, and it has this less amount of fat in it. So I'm good. I don't have to worry about anything else. I can do a bun, and I can do this, and no, you can't.
Yeah, I understand. But
not everyone's the same, obviously, either.
No. You know, like, I know that I follow a macro diet. Like I said, I follow a macro diet myself. But the biggest difference is I have the same 8 food groups. That's all I eat.
Yeah.
You know, unless I'm straying off for a meal or whatever.
And we've talked about, I don't have a problem with macros at all, because we did it. But I keep the same foods.
Yeah.
Turkey, chicken, beef. You know, and the heaviest I'll go on beef is 15% on fat.
Yeah.
I won't go any higher than that.
But you also have to realize, like, I know Jay and we've had this conversation that I actually I like to use as a fat source grass-fed beef. The reason
absolutely,
the omega-3 to 6 ratio is so much lower. Like on a standard Angus beef, which everybody thinks is the best quality, it's a 12-to-1 ratio on omega-6 to 3. And if you have a full grass-fed, grass-finished cow, it can go down to almost a 6-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, people think omega-3, 6, 9, as long as I take those omegas in, I'm great. Well, what you fail to realize is without enough omega-6 within a diet, or omega-3 in a diet, I'm sorry, that omega-6 is what can cause your arteries to be clogged.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think one thing that scares people away the most is the price. The grass-fed is quite a bit pricey, but if you take standard beef you find at Meijer or Walmart, you eat that, and then the next day you take a cow that was raised on a farm. Like, currently, I have access to a cow that a family member raised. It was butchered, and it's probably the leanest meat I've ever seen. 2 pounds, and you'll have not even a quarter shot glass of fat. You could eat that, and you'll tell how your body reacts. You'll tell a difference in your stomach and digestion and how you feel. Because you could eat that, the fresh cow, and you'll feel like $1 million, to where you can go to Walmart and buy crappy beef, and you eat it, you'll feel sluggish and you'll feel slow, even though it's a leaner beef.
Yeah. Well, even when we changed to the beef that we were doing, I completely saw a difference in how light that is on my body. And it's like, obviously my patty is very small, but it fills me, but I don't feel it at all.
Yeah.
You know,
the place. I brought it to probably 3 places now, and every place is, where'd you get that meat at?
Yeah.
Secret.
It's great.
Mission.
Yeah. It's great beef. You're not going to find it anywhere else.
Nope.
So at a certain point, and I agree with you, Jay, the price, they're looking at the total price, and that's what's scaring them. I really paid attention to the poundage on this prep, and it makes a huge difference. Like, is it really that expensive Because if I go somewhere else, I'm not paying $1.99 per pound for chicken. I'm paying two something.
Yep.
I'm 90-10 beef at Kroger and all that. It's 5 something a pound. But if I go buy it in bulk at a special destination, it's almost $3 less.
Yeah.
Because of you're weighing everything in poundage and you're not just looking at it as a 1 pound thing or I'm buying it at Kroger, Meijer, Walmart, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So you're 100% right on that one.
That's one thing I've noticed. Like I said, people ask me about, who's my coach or what I'm doing. Anytime I ever mention price, people put, price is more important than health and feeling good and actually, looking somewhat decent for the first time in your life. I mean, that seems like the majority of the factor every time.
But that boils down to a post that I put out, I don't know, a month or so ago, maybe a little longer. People are so willing to spend their hard-earned money on a Friday night at the bar or a new Coach purse or a new pair of Jordans, but they're not really concerned about their health and what's going on the inside.
Exactly.
When I meet a person and they start telling me, well, I got this ailment and this ailment, because, on our questionnaire, I want to know, the more you can tell me, the more I can help you, and when I start seeing all these ailments, the first thing I want to see your blood. Is your iron low? Is your cortisol really high? Is your vitamin D low? I want to see all these factors. Is your estrogen through the roof? How about your progesterone? So on and so forth. And that's the first deterrent, is when you grab a hold of a client and a client says, I want to make a change, and they seem determined. Seem is the question. And then I ask them to spend $94 right now on a full blood panel that would cost them more than likely with insurance over $170 covered. It would cost them out of pocket.
Yeah.
For the same panel. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. Well, let me get my GP to do it. Your GP is not going to run the test that I'm asking you to run.
Exactly.
What is your thyroid doing? Oh, well, they ran my TSH and it's good. What's your free T3 and free T4 doing?
That's one of the really important things that I like about the situation that we're in is blood work is very, very important to you. Sure, it sucks once in a while spending the money, but a doctor's just must look at an average range and say, you're at the low end, you're fine, we're not going to help you, to where okay, well, that low end, that low range for you is actually extremely low. Your body's not functioning because of this, and we don't count on the doctors. It's easier for all of us to go out and spend money, get it done, because we're getting exactly what we need based off of symptoms or any other issues that we have.
Correct. And that's what a lot of doctors do.
Very important.
Doctors treat symptoms. They treat symptoms with a pill. I full-heartedly believe that a lot of today's problems can be solved with food. And that's the hard part. And that's the harsh reality of everything, because in the grand scheme of things, Big Pharma is Big Pharma. They can
well, food and or proper hormone supplementation if need be.
Correct.
Because some people don't realize how many different hormones there are.
Well,
and what's low and what's not low.
Well, my doctor said I was in range. You're in range as a 75-year-old, sure, and you're 30.
Yep.
But those are things that I'm not even.
That's the other thing. You go to your doctor. Why do you want this on your panel? Why do you want that on your panel? Because I care. Because I want to know all these things. They just think that the generic
numbers. You there?
I think we lost them. But yeah, you had to.
Blood work that is done is just good enough.
We lost you. You're going fuzzy on us.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my internet connection.
Okay.
He's back.
I'll move to a different spot.
All right.
But yeah, so, you and Dom had a really good. You and Dom did a really good podcast I listened to the other day. I forgot who it was you had on there, but you guys were talking about hormones and all that stuff like that. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a very good one.
I was at your house for that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people don't realize how important a role the hormones play in everything. You know, you can be as ready as you want to go into a fat loss phase, but if your hormones are already jacked, you're not going to get anywhere where you think you're going to get. And that's the
Right.
harsh reality of it. And I think a lot of times clients have a hard time if I say, hey, you know, this might not be the best choice for you right now. It's a hard, and believe me, for me, that's a hard conversation to have. But I also feel that being honest about it is much better than spinning your wheels and be, well, we'll give it another week and a half or 2 weeks.
Exactly.
You know,
Oh, completely. And like right now, with what's going on and everyone being at home and stressed, I wasn't laid off. I've been working the whole entire time. Yeah, is my job and what I do, you know, me, you know, doing what I have to do here and there. But the fact that, you know, I have to do probably what, over 50, you know, during this time running all around and covering all the coverage while everyone else is gone and this, and yeah, it got to the point where it's stressful. Like for me, the stress of not being at the gym, like how we saw everyone, I need the gym, I need the gym, I need the gym.
yeah,
Did I say that at a certain point? Yeah, I think it was after probably like 6 weeks. I'm like, damn, I you know, and it wasn't the fact that I needed a gym. I needed just to change something up.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I have what I need at the house. Is it enough? Obviously. You know, you have to adapt, like we've had many conversations, all three of us have. You have to adapt to what it is, and stress is always going to be there. But it's the type of stress that you're actually going to put yourself into. My stress isn't an inner body type of stress at all. But no matter what type of stress that it is, and I've noticed, especially during this prep, it could really jack a lot of things up, you know,
absolutely.
to the point where we had the one issue the 1 week. I mean, obviously it was taken care of, but you know, your weight can go either way.
Yeah.
But it's how you adapt to the next situation after that happens.
Yeah.
Are you going to, and here's the other problem I have with a lot of people is that they want to sign up for a coach. They want a coach to help them with the nutrition and get them in shape and all that. But they want the coach to solely do everything. You need to motivate me. You need to do this. You need to do that. No, it's all on you. He's not the one at the gym with you or at home prepping your food or doing any of that. That's on you. And not and yes, you hold people accountable, but you hold them accountable to a certain point because it's their job to hold themselves accountable 100%.
I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that a lot. Is they're looking for a coach to push them, basically babysit them through every single step of the way.
Well, I've had people like that where I ask them, they ask a million questions, and if they don't go a day without talking to me, something's wrong. I'll be honest. I mean, you have to take those ones with a grain of salt because you know that they mean well, but ultimately, like you said, it's not my job to motivate you, but I am here to hold you accountable. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I still feel in my heart that I need to do as much as I possibly can, though. That's where a lot of people falter off, where they just think, well, I gave it to you. It's up to you. You know, I mean, people have stress, and I've had conversations with 4 clients this week, just on like the stress of everything being closed. And if I don't hear from somebody, I'll send them a text and be like, hey, what's going on? How are you? And sometimes not the answer I want to hear, but we got to discuss it and why. And that's, I think, one of the most important parts, in my opinion, because I'm going out of my way to make sure that you're okay. You know, so it is what it is. All right. Last thing I want to talk about. Let's talk about last year. I know we touched on it very, very lightly. Let's talk about I want to talk about Kyle. It was your first prep. What was your experiences for those who may be thinking they want to compete? Obviously, I've been through a few now, so for me, it's a little bit different. But let's talk, and Jay, I want your input because obviously, like I said, you were here through the entire thing, and you got to experience both of us as assholes. So what was your experience from start to finish?
From the beginning, I honestly, nothing changed. Everything stayed the same. I was level-headed. It was a little different because obviously I'm working towards something. So the mindset changed just slightly, but not completely. The biggest thing for me and what helped me is the industry that I work in. I've gone days where I've hardly eaten anything. So, and the mentality that I have as a person, like once I'm in 100%. I don't slow down. I don't mess around, especially with, I'm not going to lie, this is the most expensive sport I've ever been involved with. But I will do and pay for whatever if it's something that I'm passionate about and something that I really love. And over the last 3 years, it's not up there with hockey, but it's fucking close right now. Like it's getting to that point. Like this is my lifestyle now. So I think nothing really changed until I want to say week 12-ish, 11-ish, to when the food started going down, and I started to notice my energy, and I'm like, damn, like this is different. But the food was still there, so I was trying to figure out what it was. It was just I wasn't preparing myself enough. And then, God, what was it? It was in August. I went from 220 to 212. And right then and there, my whole mentality changed. And I'm like, I got this. Like, I don't care what he throws at me. It doesn't matter.
Well, that was the best part because I told Jay when we started and you were 255, I said, I bet you I get your ass down to 198.
I didn't think I could do it, and I told you that.
I never told you, though.
No, you never told me that. And we never talked about what class I was going to go in either. The whole time I'm thinking, there's no way. Because I remember you telling me I had to get down to one, light heavyweight is 198. I'm like, damn, like I'm going to try my fucking hardest, but I don't think it's going to happen. But as soon as that 8-pound drop happened, I'm like, ain't nothing going to stop me now. Like this, it's it. And I think I really got around week 6 or 7 is when my energy was just completely just toast. It was done. But I never stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the whole prep. I loved it, to be honest with you. For being the first prep that I ever had, you know me as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You knew exactly how far and how hard you could push me. Exactly. All three of us, the mentality that we have is pretty much the same.
It is.
So we know how far we can push each other, and we do it. But we do it because we know what the outcome will be. So I had no problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing for me that helped was I changed careers for 7 months. I got out of the hospitality industry and worked with my sister, and the workload went from 100% down to basically 40%. It wasn't stressful. There wasn't a day where I was needing food. There was days where, I felt like I was crashing, and obviously we took care of that. But at no point did I lose the love of anything. And it's just that I gained so much more respect for the people who have done it and for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a part of that. The day of weigh-ins, the fact that when I stepped on the scale and I was 190 pounds, it blew my mind. I didn't even look like the same person
No,
at all.
No.
And
No.
when I show people the pictures now, that's not you. That's not you. And I like look at my tattoos that I have, and that's basically the only way that they believe me.
Exactly.
And so I fucked off a little bit after the show, and I learned from it. Obviously,
everybody makes a mistake. I'll be honest. I did it.
I'm not gonna lie. It was planned out that I was gonna eat like an asshole for the whole week. I planned it out. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I told you that. Should I have done maybe just one day of it? Sure, but I did the whole week, and it was a stupid amount of food, to the point where I had to get compression socks and take the water pills and all that for a week straight just to try and get some of the water off of me, and obviously edema set in, and not in a good way.
What about North Americans? My lead into North Americans. Oh, that was brutal. Jay was there for that one. My friggin' thighs were like fucking water balloons.
Huge.
Yeah.
Like it was unreal.
The funny part is I think I ate bad 2 days. I ate Saturday and Sunday, Saturday night and all of Sunday. And then I went back to plan Monday, and it was already too late for me.
Yeah.
But your body, for some reason, you just have this bad issue with water.
Yeah.
Water just tends to hold in certain spots no matter what you do. But come show day, boom, gone. It's just it just sits there.
And that's funny too, because I noticed in my first, that's how mine was in my first prep. Like, why the fuck will this not go away? And then we got further and further and closer and closer and closer to the show, and I'm starting to look, and I'm like, okay, damn, this is starting to go. But I didn't have the knowledge then. I didn't know. So seeing, as we were posing multiple times a week, as we were doing, ramping up check-ins and all that, and I really started to pay attention to what Nate was saying on my pictures. I'm like, damn, you're right. Even now. Even with my 2 check-ins a week in this, yesterday check-in, I'm like, damn, I look like shit in some of my pictures. But if I really pay attention to certain spots, I'm like, yeah, I'm from Saturday to Wednesday, it's totally different.
So what I don't mean it's what common people have to realize when they're doing bodybuilding prep, and you both know that I'm, especially for this, is the pros always, like, the way that they gain body fat is all around. For a lot of us, like me, on my waistline, we know that like my arms and chest can be freaking diced.
Yeah.
But my low back still looks like I got a damn pillow back there.
Yeah.
And that one part of your inner thigh, the lower end right by the knee, that little spot there too.
Yep. But people, the problem is you take those people who've never competed, and they think that they're going to go on stage and look just like that pro does. And that's, I think, where we have to do a better in saying, you may not look like you will look the best that you've ever looked, but you may not be as diced as you think you're going to be. However, once your body reaches that point, the one time, the next time it'll get there and beyond. And you'll get better with each show. And that's why I'm excited on July 11th to see what you're going to look like. Because you're going to be better than last time. And I think you blew my expectations out of the water last time.
I think the diet that we did and how we did it, the vertical, but just staying on beef.
I think that was
we
good.
We realized that my body adapts well to that.
That's another thing a lot of people have to realize is this isn't a plain cut and dry thing.
Yeah.
It takes me time to learn on your tendencies. So like just you hire me for that 1 month, it could take me that 1 month to figure you out. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why when plans come into the 12-week plan is probably the best, because it may take me 3 weeks to figure you out, but once I dial you to figure you out, then it's smooth sailing.
Yeah. Just a little adjustment that we did in the past 3 days.
Oh, absolutely.
I can already see it in my face already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can see it in some parts in other areas that have dried up.
Yep.
I'm the same, like my lower back. I already know that's gonna literally be the last week.
Yeah. And it always
I hold a lot of water, and I always have. You know, and I'm fine with that, because I know at the end of the day, it's coming right off.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be dry.
When push comes to shit, like I always tell people, and people are like, "Dude, your legs they look smooth." I'm like, "Yeah, just wait 3 days." And then I dry out, and they go, "Oh, where'd that come from?" I go,
Yeah.
"Dude, trust me, you don't think it aggravates me?" Because that's the hard part, is I don't know until I start that process and I pull that water. That's when those legs come out and they pop.
Well, yeah, and then also, what was it? I ate my meal too late before the night show during Central States, and we noticed it because my back started to fill up a little bit.
Yep.
And I realized, like, okay, I ate way too close to the night show.
Yep.
So that's an adjustment that was adjusted right away. Like, that's taken care of, done, boom. You know, that'll never happen again.
It'll be different this time too for you, because you're going to be in that mid-range.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have a 1-day carb up. Now we'll be able to progressively come into that weigh-in.
Oh,
which
yeah.
You'll see is a big difference. Like, obviously that was huge for me coming into Masters last year, being able to weigh in on Thursday, fill up Thursday night, Friday, and then Saturday. I mean, that was huge.
The amount of carbs that you took in, it was
1,500. I think we were probably right around there.
Yeah, that was just crazy, but
it worked.
It worked.
You know,
and that's what people don't realize.
You know, it's always funny because you always see guys, and guys look great by themselves, right?
Yeah.
And they always look like they're going to win their class. And I'm always that guy who they look at and they go, "Fuck, he's terrible." And then I start to fill out, and then they go, and then I believe that I fully transform from flat to full. Is just, I look night and day different. I remember.
Oh yeah.
I remember in Pittsburgh, those pictures we took outside. I peaked at that point. That was my peak. And I mean, plain, clean, and simple. That was the best I've ever looked.
You were diced.
I knew when I sent those, I went, I'm going to fucking miss it. And fortunately, we were able to hold most of it.
Yeah.
I wish that if I could have stepped on stage right then and there, it might have been a different story. We probably could have jumped up a place or two.
Yeah, easily.
So,
but you can't complain with the place that you took in your first national show either.
First national show, you place in the top 5. I'm not saying a damn word.
Yeah.
You know, redemption will have its day.
Yeah.
But until then, we don't know. All right, guys, we've been on for a little while now. Let's end it right here.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Again, we had Jay, we had Kyle. They have been the glue that has held everything that has made me become a coach together. So without these two guys, I probably wouldn't be sitting in the position that I am. So I thank you two.
It's just begun.
And we've just only going to get better from here. So thanks, you guys, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And I will see you guys soon.
Yes, sir.
Right, see you soon. Have a good one.
That was good.
I like that one.
Yep.
All right.
How long was that? Hour and a half.
Hour and 20 minutes almost.
Jesus Christ.
It didn't even feel like it, to be honest with you.
Oh wait, we're gonna.
It still says record at the top.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. I got it.